You're welcome. I'll be talking to you today about 6 things that I stopped believing in my career and that completely changed my story. I stopped believing the 6 things and it completely changed my story. And I want to share some of these things with you because I also believe that it will change your story as well. And now, there are 6 things, so I'll pick them from 1 to 6. Now, the first bit that I need you to understand is that when you tell yourself, I need to be ready, I need to be ready, I am not ready right now, I need to be ready. Um, I want you to understand that courage will come to you from doing. Courage will come to you from doing. So, all of the I need to be ready, I am not ready, things are not, it doesn't look like anything is coming to me right now. So, I need to take the next exam and I need to, take the next certification and I need to have these gazillion things that I need to do for me to be ready. You do not need to be ready any more than you currently are. You do not need to be ready more than you currently are. You do not need to be ready more than you currently are. You are already ready. You are already enough. And that is critical because if you do not understand this, you will continue to waste a lot of time trying to be ready. All right. So I need you to understand that courage comes from doing, not from waiting. Because what people then do is they pack themselves into the, they put themselves into the waiting room of life because they are trying to be ready and they're trying to be ready and they're trying to be ready. Okay, so this is the mindset shift that I need you to have. You are already ready. All right. And then there is this courage confidence loop that you need to understand that will change everything for you completely. Confidence will come to you because obviously one of the reasons why you don't feel like you're ready is because you don't feel confident. Okay. But confidence will come to you through the results of the work that you do. In which case it means that you need to learn to stack up your results. So you need to stack up your results rather than saying, okay, I'll just wait until I'm ready. You need to have the courage to do. And then when you do, you're going to have the results, and the results will feed back to you, and then you become more confident. Okay. So I don't want you to see it on the sidelines of your career because you think, oh, I'm not confident enough. I can't ask for that next promotion and all of those things. Your next promotion isn't going to come to you without you taking the right action that will deliver your promotion to you. And the action that you're going to take is not going to be based on you waiting, just laying around and just saying, oh, I don't think I'm qualified, or I don't think I can do this, or I don't think I can do that. Okay, so you need to understand the confidence courage loop because that's going to help you. Okay, the courage that you have will lead to actions, and actions will lead to results, and that leads to confidence. That is the loop that I need you to understand. All right, that is the loop that I need you to understand. Now, stay afraid, but do it anyway. What is important is the action. You do not have to wait to be confident. Just do it, and eventually confidence will follow. Carrie Fisher. You do not have to wait, you just need to do. Doing will bring you closer to the confidence you need to do the thing. So stay doing. All right. The one who waits for perfect conditions will never plant. And if you don't plant, you cannot harvest. It's as simple as that. So always thinking in your career, I don't feel ready, I'm not ready, isn't going to bring anything to you. You just need to understand that it will not bring anything to you. So that's mindset shift one. You are already ready. All right. Now, mindset shift two is hard work will speak for itself. All the work that I'm doing right now will speak for itself. It won't. Okay, it will not because your hard work will whisper, but if you don't have what amplifies it, then you're going to be there for a long time. All right. Now, visibility is the career strategy that you need to onboard right now. All right. Visibility is the career strategy that you need to onboard right now. Now, I have written so much about visibility, and I've written, so I'm going to share with you three truths about visibility that I've shared in some of my write ups in the past. Now, your work has a perception problem. By default, your work has a perception problem, not a quality problem. Your work may not have quality problems. And that's why sometimes you'll be doing everything right. It feels like your work is addressing the right problems and all of that. But in some funny way, it looks like you're not being recognized and compensated for the work that you do. It's because by default, your work has a perception problem. All right. So you need to actively shape how you are perceived at work. You need to actively shape how you're perceived at work, or else somebody else will shape it for you. Somebody else will shape it for you if you don't shape how you're perceived at work. It's as simple as that. So you need to get into the business of shaping your perception. Truth number two is that the timing of your visibility matters. I've seen a lot of people who were not ready. And if you're not ready and you play the visibility game, you will be exposed, because when you now get into those big rooms where the big executives are and where your top bosses are, and then yes, you have the visibility, but is the substance there? Because if the substance is now not there, there you go, you're going to be exposed, and people are going to see that you're not qualified enough for that. So the timing of your visibility matters, and that's why even when it looks like you're not currently in the spotlight, you should continue to build yourself. And one of the critical things that is a KPI for you right now is self-development. Read about the work that you do. I won't stop talking about this. You have to continue to read about the work that you do, so that when you then have visibility opportunities, you will know how to use it. All right. So premature exposure is going to diminish your potential. It is going to wreck your reputation. And as such, before you step into the spotlight, you better be doing the right work, because the timing of your visibility matter. So don't just say, I'm looking for visibility. I just want you just put me on the big project, put me on the big project and all of that. But when they then put you on the big project, you can't deliver the big project. That is going to impact negatively on you, and you do not want that. All right. Truth number three that you need to understand is that the most powerful visibility often comes from others speaking about your work, not you. So self promotion has its own limits, but advocacy by other people is, in fact, is impeccable. It is what you should aim for. And that means that you need to focus on building advocates at work. You need to build your own minions. You need to build the people who see you, who see your work, and who talks about your work really well. So you need to build the right relationships. So you can't really talk about visibility without building the right relationships with people who talk about you in rooms where you're not. So you can go around and say, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm fantastic at my job." You can talk, you can say all of that, but if you do not have advocates, which is like the third person, third party evidence, then self promotion may not be as effective as you think it should be for you. So you need to focus on building the right relationships. So I'll give you a framework for you to build your visibility, because it's quite critical that you do. And that is the visibility triangle. Okay, at the top of your triangle is the results. A lot of people just focus on the results, like I said before. You just focus on your work. Oh, my work is going to talk to me. My work is going to speak for me. All of those. But your work is not going to continue to speak for you, because, by again, like I said, by default, your work has perception problem. Okay, so your work will not continue to speak for you per se, but you still need that work because it's the baseline. So in the triangle, the top of the triangle will have your results. So you must know your results. You must be able to track it. You must be able to document your results, because it's critical that you document your results. Okay. You must know the numbers, your outcomes, your before and after, and the impact that your results is making. So it's not just, I'm solving this problem, or I'm solving that problem, or I'm doing this. What is the impact? Why do we care about the results? Why do we care? Why must we care about the results? So you must think about the impact of the work that you're doing. Now, in the left corner of the triangle is your relationships. You need to build genuine connections. You cannot do it by yourself. The time is going to come, you'll rise to a point in your career where that is it. Like, if you want to move to the next level, you need all the right relationships. So you need to build genuine connections with people who influence decisions about your career. It is important, all right? And this is not just like transactional networking, it's when you need people, you go to them. It's like before you need people at all, you are already building those relationships, all right? Now, there is the in the right corner, you have your reputation. You must guide your reputation. And I typically use the mental real estate model when I coach professionals. And I tell them, listen, everybody is busy, everybody has something that they're doing with their lives. Okay. People don't typically have a lot of bandwidth for you. No matter how you look at it, people don't really have a lot of bandwidth for you. So you must cater to how they see you in that little moment they're seeing you. You must say, okay, you must pre-intend actually. You must pre-intend and say, okay, I want this person to see me, but I want them to see me in this light. I want them to experience me like this. All right. So I need you to think about that for your visibility strategy. Top of the triangle is your results, the left corner is your relationships, and the right corner is your reputation. You need to work your reputation. It is super, super critical. You know what Steve Jobs said? He said that your time is limited. Do not waste it living someone else's life, which then means that you need to focus on what matters to your career. Like you need to focus 100% on what matters in your career. And in this instance, your results, the relationships, your reputation. It's going to get you straight to the top if you manage all of these three things well. All right. Now, again, don't forget that talent whispers, but visibility is going to amplify. Critical stuff. All right. So, mindset number three that I need you to pay attention to is I need everyone's input before I make decision. No, you don't. You need to decide and you need to make a move right now, almost immediately. You cannot continue to wait for 10 people to have an input into a simple decision you want to make. 10 mentors, 200 coaches, and all of that. I've once told my story of a time when I had to make a decision about an offer to take. So I got a senior manager offer from a private equity firm, and I got another assistant manager offer from a big four firm in the UK. And I went for the big four firm in the UK. And there were so many things I thought about. But I made the decision the next day. I got the offer like the same day, and I made my decision the very next day. I just had one night to sleep over it, and I made the decision. You do not have to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And recently, I've been doing a lot of work around decision making and what professionals need to be thinking about when they are making decisions for themselves. Now, I've been working more along the lines of the emotional aspect of decision making because really the reason why a lot of professionals don't make their decisions on time is because they have some fear, okay, about what will happen if I make this decision. Okay, what will happen if I make this decision? And and that fear may be based on like maybe scarcity, it may be based on how people will see them. That fear may be based on so many different things, right? So it's sometimes it's not like the logical aspect of it, it's the emotional aspect of it. And if you understand, this morning I was trying to make a decision. Just this morning, an idea came across my mind. I'm like, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a decision. But as I was thinking about it, I was first thinking because I wanted to like say, oh no, I'm not gonna do it. But then I thought about it like, why do you not want to do it? Like, what is the fear you feel right now? And I had to sit with myself and I'm like, okay, the fear I feel right now is actually how will people see this? Given, I mean, the brand, the reputation I've built and all of that, how will people see this decision I'm trying to make? And in my mind, I'm like, why do I care so much about what people will see or say? Because I've been building this brand for a bit now, and everything I have done, if I had thought about people, I would never have done it. So why am I so? And you know the funny thing, until I dig deep into myself, and I sat down with my feelings, and I'm like, alright, why are you thinking you couldn't do this? Until I asked myself that, I didn't think like I didn't get the answer because at the end of the day, There is a reason why you're stalling with that decision. There's a reason. So you need to sit and say, okay, no, this is not because the decision is difficult. It's because I have a fear. And what is that fear? And if you sit with the fear and you get through the emotions you're feeling with that particular fear, you can then say, okay, actually, the reason why I'm feeling like this is because I don't want people to see me as maybe someone who doesn't know what they're doing or whatever. And then you go through that emotion yourself and you see through it. Okay, let's say, worst case scenario, people see me as someone who doesn't know what they're doing. How bad can that possibly be? Then you sit down with that emotion, you feel that emotion, and you then say that it's not that bad now. That's their business. And you're like, oh, that's their business. And then that's it. You've conquered it. You make your decision and you go on your way. All right. So you don't need everybody's input to making decisions. You just need to make a decision and then you need to move. All right. Now, if you do have 80% of the information you need, you can make your decision right now, right away. The remaining 20% information that you need will reveal itself to you along the way. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So the speed of the decision you make will continue to beat perfection. The speed, pace is greater than perfection every single time, and you need to outpace your aim from time to time should be for you to outpace competition, outpace yourself, outpace the benchmark. That should always be your aim. All right. So if you have 80% of the information you need, you decide. The remaining 20%, it will reveal itself to you. All right. Theodore Roosevelt said, in any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. So that decision that you've been trying to make over a year ago, over 6 months ago, over 3 months ago, the worst thing you're doing right now is not making any decision. Okay? And the best thing you can do is to do the right thing. So the question is, what's the right thing? And sit with your emotions. Why am I not making this decision? And then understand that if you do not make any decision, that's the worst thing you're currently doing. Because if you don't make a decision, then you can't act. Because action then justifies the decision you have made. And if you don't get to the point where you can act on the decision, then you cannot protect the decision that you've made. Another thing I tell professionals when I coach them is this, that the fact that you've made a decision now does not mean you cannot make another decision, because a lot of people just feel like they can't make another decision. But you can't always make another decision. And there are times you will make a decision and the decision will not be correct, and that is okay. Like, it's okay. If you make a decision now, it's not correct. You can make another decision. Will you have consequences for making decisions you've made? Yes. But you can always, always make another decision. So don't forget that, okay? A quick wrong turn teaches you more than a lifetime of standing still in the same place. You make a quick wrong turn, it's the wrong turn, you're seeing the consequences, you're going to learn how it doesn't work anymore. You're going to learn it immediately. Oh, this doesn't work. You learn it quickly, you make another turn. That is possibly the right one. But if you're standing still in the same place, you're going to learn nothing because you're just there. So I need you to get into the rhythm of making the right decisions for yourself, sticking with those decisions, and trusting yourself through the process. Okay? I need you to trust yourself. So make that decision. It's quite critical because there are times in your career where the only reason you're staying in the same point for 6 months in a row is because you've not gotten to a point where you're actually making a decision. And you need to make a decision. It is so critical. All right. And don't forget also that where you've gotten to right now in your career is the accumulation of all the decisions you've made. It is also the accumulation of how you have felt and all the emotions that you have brought to fore in making those decisions. So it's quite critical. Okay. Mindset shift 4 is I am just doing my job. I am just doing my job. You see, your job is to solve the problem. You've been brought on board because there's a problem, because if there was no problem, you wouldn't have been brought on board. And so when you say, I am just doing my job, yes, you're solving problems, but your job is not only the work you're doing right now in the present, it's also the work you do into the future. So you've been brought on board not only to solve the current problems, but also been brought on board to solve emerging problems, and that is critical. And so it means that if you've been brought on board to also solve emerging problems, it means that you need to begin to think like a leader into the future. So if any of your strategy right now, any of your plans right now in your career does not involve leading others, then your career, the strategy you have in your career right now is suboptimal because you're wasting a lot of potential. You're literally wasting a lot of potential. So your strategy in your career right now has to include your ability to lead others. You cannot remain in the reporter mode. You go into meetings, you just say, this is the problem, then you sit down. You can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, you need to get into leadership mode because leaders operate differently. Leaders will walk into a room and then they would say, this is the problem, this is the recommendation, and this is the impact of my recommendation. And I also coach career professionals to understand that if you want to grow technically in role, other than reading about the work that you do, creating a calendar for yourself, a training calendar for yourself, you also need for every single technical problem you have at work, you need to get into the zone of writing papers about them. This one will change you. It will make you into authority. It will make you into a technical person. This will change the game for you. When you come across an issue at work, get a Google Doc, get Microsoft Word, whatever you use in your organization, and write down that problem that you're seeing. Write down the fact pattern of the problem. This will change everything for you. Write down the fact pattern, write down the recommendation you have for that problem, and write down the impact if they should take the recommendation you're giving. What would that mean for the process? What would that mean for your organization? What would that mean for the ease of the work? What would that mean? So, the fact pattern of the issue, your recommendation, or the problem. So, sometimes I call it the PSI: problem, solution, impact. One page is not more than one page. One page. All right? Just one page. The problem, the recommendation or the solution, and the impact that it is having. It is quite critical that you do that. So you do that the first time, you do that the second time. Before you know it, you begin to build your technical competence at work. And let me tell you what this also does. It doesn't just build your technical competence at work, it also builds how you're seen. Because you're not just seen as someone who just reports problems, sits with it, romances it. You're also seen as someone who provides the right kind of solution to those problems. It is quite critical. All right. Maya Angelou said that do the best you can until you know better. When you know better, do better. I love that quote so much. Okay, so right now you see a problem at work. You see a problem at work. Do what you can do with that problem. Like, don't say, oh, but I'm not the boss. I am not this. I am not. Right now, do the best that you can do with that problem until you know better. And then when you know better, go and update, iterate. Iteration is what will change everything for you. So, with what you know now, do what you can. And then when you know better, you do better. All right. All right. So, there is this quote I love so much is that you were not hired to report the weather, you were hired to change it. So, it's critical. And that is a mindset shift. Once you have that in your mind, that's it, right? That's it. You were not hired to report the weather, you were hired to change it. So start showing up like a leader in your workplace before you get this title, because a lot of people they don't know that the reason why someone will tap you on the shoulder and say, okay, go for the next role is because you're already operating at the next level. All right. Titles follow behaviors, not the other way around. Titles follow behaviors. So start embodying the behavior of a leader in your environment and in your workplace is so critical. All right. The other piece, which is number five, the fifth mindset shift that I've got for you right now is that success was luck. A lot of people believe that when they succeeded, it was because they got lucky. You couldn't get lucky. But I am also telling you that there were some things you did that gave you those wins that you had. Because success comes to you through principles, through actions on principles. It is so critical. It is so, 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 so critical. So you may be there and you may be thinking, oh, actually, I only just got lucky. You didn't just get lucky. If you won before, you can win again and you can continue to win. You didn't just get lucky. No, you didn't just get lucky. So I needed to sit with some of the successes you've had in the past. And that's why a lot of people cannot replicate their successes in their careers. Hi, Joy Talks. Hi, Cupcat. That's why a lot of people do not know how to replicate their wins. It's because when they won, they are not sitting down and saying, why did I win? You know what people do a lot? They um they when they fail, when they fail, they will, create this huge assessment. And we see it in our organizations. You create this huge assessment. Why did we not meet the deadline? Why did we miss this? Why did we miss that? Yeah, why did this not happen? All of that. When it goes wrong, we come. Why did it go wrong? Why? And that's okay. When it went right, when everything went well, the question is what happened? Who was the person who moved the needle? What were the things we did? Meeting with our team every single day to set the direction and guidance, having someone who coached the team, did that move it forward? Talking about the problems we encountered within 24 hours of first encountering the problem, having a stand-up chat with everybody that mattered to discuss a problem that has come up. And when we go into those conversations, it's not because we just want to have conversations, it's because actions need to follow those meetings, and that there is someone there who is making sure everybody is acting correctly. All of those things made us hit the deadline. So if you come on another project, because you know what went well, you can replicate that again. So don't say I was successful because I was just lucky. Nothing just happens. Look, randomness and success, they don't share the same room. They don't share the same room. Yes, you could get lucky, and luck could amplify. Yes, luck can amplify, but the starting point is, what were the strategies that got you that win in the first place? What were the strategies that got you the win in the first place? So pay attention to that. So if you want to know, you as you're listening to me right now, if you want to know some of the things you've won in the past and how you've won, like if you really want to do an audit, because you can do a win audit actually. If you want to do a win audit, just pay attention to this. Number one, list your top 5 career wins. Like if you ask me now, I know what my top 5 career wins are. Easy. Some of them are not easy, and it's not just I got a new job, I got promotion. It is okay, all right. How did you get to the point where you can articulate yourself so well? Or how did you get to a point where you can publicly speak to people and you're not afraid and you're not shy? Those are some of the career wins. So identify some of your top career wins that you've had. Now, for each win, I need you to identify some of the skills that you deployed. Okay, was it your communication? What did you do? Did you read more? Did you pick up new words? Did you use the bluff method? Did you use my own me? There's one method I love, and I keep preaching it and I keep teaching it in my coaching program as well. Which is when I'm talking to somebody, like the way I'm talking to you right now. I am not just saying a bunch of words and blabbing. I'm thinking at the back of my mind, what's going on at the back of my mind is, what do I want these people to hear me say? It's not what do I want to say. It is, what do I want these people to hear me say? And that has helped with my communication. It has helped with my confidence. It has helped with my articulation. It is just so critical. So each win, identify the skill that got you the win. So was it your communication? Was it your analytical thinking? What did you do differently? Did you use the critical W questions like the what, the why, the who, the where? Was your ability to build rapport with people, and as such you build more advocates? Okay, or was it your emotional state? Did you learn how to manage how you felt emotionally when you're at work? That even though you had people who were always triggering you to lose your cool, you didn't. So you need to identify some of those things. Then also identify the condition. What environment were you in when you had that win? Did you have a supportive manager? Did you have a supportive senior manager? Did you have a supportive team? Did you have a team that listened to you when you shared your ideas? What was the environment like? What kind of support did you have? Did you have enough people who worked with you that you led and then you were able to deliver the win? And so, because if you know what worked, then you can replicate it. Then you can, when you go on another project, you can add exactly what you need for you to win. Now, the next piece is find the patterns. What shows up again and again with you? What are your own patterns? You need to understand your patterns. What are your superpowers? For me, my superpower is speaking, is talking. So I knew that I needed to make sure that when I'm talking, I know what I'm saying, and then people can be blessed when they hear me talk to them. That is my superpower. So I'll go back and work on my articulation. I'll go back and work on my confidence and all of that and all of that. So, what is your superpower? Find your patterns, find what works for you. It can even be as small as, if I do this in the early hours of the morning, I do it better. That is your pattern. So, stick with your patterns. Okay. Now, you will now deploy your patterns like intentionally. Okay. You will then do that intentionally. It's so critical. The proof of your future is hidden in the patterns of your past. Okay, if I want to know how successful somebody will be, I just look at their past. I just look at the patterns, because somebody will obviously you're seeing them now. They're all over the place, and go and check them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. What were they doing? Did they look like they were very consistent? Did they look like, okay? So let's take someone who produces movies, for instance. They've been producing movies for the last 10 years, and it looked like all through those 10 years, every time they came up with a story, it was just different. Like, it was just different. There was just something better about the way they, positioned themselves. And for every single production they did, you could see the step up in quality, the step up in value, the step up in storytelling, and everything and everything. Now, when you then see that same person in 2026 producing something mind blowing, you wouldn't be surprised, would you? Not necessarily, because you've seen them win over and over and over again. They've got patterns. So the question is, what is your own pattern? This is critical. All right. So let's move quickly to the last mindset shift. And I'm going to wrap this up. So the last mindset shift is, my company will take care of my career. Ah, this one, a lot of people have this mindset shift. They don't even know that they have it. My company will take care of my career. No, they won't at all. No, they're not there to take care of your career. Your career is yours. Your career is your business. And then the business with the big B. Your career is your own business. So you have to treat your career like a business. Okay, you need to treat your career like, so if my name is Aurea Bukola, my career is Aurea Bukola Limited. I need to take care of my business because my business provides a service and it gets paid in return. So the revenue for my business is the salary that I am getting. So I need to take care of my career by reinvesting into my career, taking the right courses, building myself technically, building on my leadership, building on my communication, because my career is a business with a big B. So your company is your company pays you already, but your career is your responsibility. Nobody is going to build it for you. Okay, nobody is going to build it for you. So you need to get to the point where you're running monthly audits on your career, quarterly audits on your career, yearly audits on your career. Am I qualified for the work that I'm doing? Am I qualified for the work that I'm doing? What is working in my career? What is not? Am I still valuable? Is the market still placing a lot of value on my career? When was the last time I tested the market? Will the market continue to pay me into the future? Am I solving a problem into the future? Is the problem my career is solving right now, is it future relevant in this day and age of AI? In the next 2 or 3 years, with what I'm doing right now, will my career remain competitive? It is critical. All right. So I need you to pay attention to that. Now, you need a career CEO model. You need a career CEO model. Number one, you're the chief vision officer of your career. Know where you're going. You need to know where you're headed. Have a 3-year, a 5-year vision of your career, a 1-year vision. Write it down. Write it down. You are the chief vision officer of your career. You are the CFO of your career. Track your money. Instead of giving your money away to people who don't care about you, when that money in itself can be redeployed to diversify your career. You are the chief financial officer of your career. All right. So know your earnings, track your earnings, your market value, and invest in your own growth. Don't continue to just show up every day. Oh, I'm just going to wear my suit and tie. I'm going to go to work again. I'm going to work again. All the same knowledge you had last year is the same knowledge you have this year. Nothing has changed. Nothing is moving. You're in the same position. It doesn't look like there is path to the top in your organization. It doesn't look like you have any plan for yourself. Okay, so you are the chief vision officer, you are the CFO, you are the CMO, you are the chief marketing officer of your career. Build your personal brand, please. You see me, Orebukola, I've built it to a good point, right? Like there's a lot I still need to do, but I've gotten to a point where I've built my brand like to a typical Nigerian career professional. A lot of people still don't know me. I get that, but like a lot of people do as well, and that's because of the work that I've done, and that's because of the building that I've done. So you need to build your own career as well, build your personal brand, control your own narrative, and be visible where it matters. Is critical. All right. And you are the CEO as well of your career. You need to build all the right systems. Oh, you go to work, you're always feeling tired, you're always feeling demotivated, and all of that, and all of that. You know, you don't know people that can move your career forward. Nobody can tap you on the shoulder and say, come. We have an opening now. Nobody is talking to you about your career. That is not right. You are the CEO, COO of your career. You need to build the right systems for your productivity so that you show up every day happy, joyful to show up in your career. That has to happen. Okay, you need to build systems for networking. You need to meet new people and see how those people, and see how you can be a blessing to those people, and see how those people can be blessings to you as well. Okay, you need to be creative about your own learning. You need to continue to learn. You need to continue to read about the work that you do. Do not leave your growth to chance at all. You know, John C. Maxwell said, he said that dreams do not work unless you do. If you don't work, your dreams cannot work. If you don't work, your career cannot work. Your career is heavily dependent on you as a person. It's quite critical. It's quite critical, right? An employee will always wait for instructions, but a career CEO, they create their own blueprint. Me, I'm a career CEO of my own career, so I create the blueprint of how my career is going, where it's ended, if I'm waiting, if I'm staying, and all of that, and I'm heavily invested in it. Okay, so those are the 6 mindset shifts and that I need you to bring on board to your, to your career now. It will just change everything. I hope this has pumped you. I hope this has blessed you. I hope this has really helped you. So if you want to work with me, I'm going to put in the description box the link to my store. You can get a one-on-one session with me, or you can join my community or take any other resources that is available to you in the store. Thank you so much for joining me in this live stream. I'll see you later. Remain fantastic.